Hello and welcome to the Roast Recap, a look back on the week that was. Now, it's Friday the 13th, but I don't believe in superstitions, and to prove it, I've got my black cat Lucky down here behind the desk, an umbrella, and I am sitting under this ladder. All I need to do now is break this mirror. Lucky, throw the headlines.
Tony Abbott, the Prime Minister who struggles to connect his lips with cheeks, is in America at the moment and yesterday rung the opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange. All right, okay, who is this guy? Whoa! Let's make some money! Open for business! Open for business! Mr. Abbott joins the ranks of other notable bell ringers, including Darth Vader, the cast of Jersey Shore, 2 sea otters, a rock and roll man and his rock and roll friends, a sponge, and a duck. Mr. Abbott took the opportunity to highlight Australia is open for business, unless, of course, your business is coming to Australia by boat, in which case you will never do business in Australia. Also, during his American trip, Abbott acknowledged that climate change is a problem, but was keen to assure us that the potential end of the world is not the end of the world.
It's not the only or even the most important problem that the world faces.
The most important problem facing the world, of course, is a shortage of roads. A dinner with the Prime Minister is being sold for charity on eBay. The starting bid is $5,000, but if that seems a little steep, the website does assure us the PM comes with free postage. The winning bidder will get to choose from dinner at the Lodge, Kirribilli House, or the dining room at Parliament House. It's certainly going to be hard to choose since none of them have ratings on Urban Spoon. But no matter where you choose, it's a great opportunity to ask some probing questions, or just be a dick. Hey Tony, good job cutting that turkey. Did you practice by cutting the Climate Commission? Do you want me to pass the gravy boat, or are you just going to send it to Manus Island? Oh, Operation Sovereign Waistline, eh? Hey Tony, here comes the $12 billion jets. Oh, whoops, it's going down. Like your approval ratings. I've got a whole page of these. Do you mind if I crash here? The auction is one of numerous dinners up for grabs in support of next week's Midwinter Ball. And if you look at the website's homepage, I think you can tell what this year's theme is. Yes, the Wild West. Now, if you've got $3,000 lying around, you can also bid on the dinner with Clive Palmer at a fine dining Canberra restaurant. But be aware, it may result in Andrew Bolt accusing you of being after the Liberal leadership. You can also bid on a dinner with Labor leader Bill Shorten and Deputy Tanya Plibersek, where they'll order the opposite of what Tony Abbott had. Fruit and vegetable growers are furious that Woolworths is charging them to help fund an advertising campaign. As for Coles, they're not charging farmers extra, but they are giving them the finger. Suppliers are angry over a 40-cent per crate fee being charged to pay for the campaign, featuring Jamie Oliver, seen here with people who don't look anything like the staff at my local Woolworths. Over the course of the 6-week campaign, one large supplier is expecting to pay $300,000, or the price of one organically farmed vegetable. Outraged, the industry group Ozveg have written a letter to the celebrity chef urging him to ask Woolworths to remove the fee and refund the growers.
I doubt Jamie is the kind of person who would want to adversely affect farmers. He seems like a reasonable man.
Really? Because I don't think a reasonable man would say that you could make a chorizo carbonara with Catalan market salad in 15 minutes. It's madness. For the roast, I'm Mark Humphries.
You can't make anything good in under 15 minutes. Next up, Tony Abbott has travelled to the United States just after Obama announced a new progressive climate change policy. Awkward! But instead of blindly following the US president like every other Australian Prime Minister has done before him, Tony Abbott tried to forge a coalition of anti-global carbon price countries to undermine the president. Talk about going to extraordinary lengths just to get validation from other people around the world. Honestly, some people are so desperate for others' approval, am I right? Hey, am I right? Hey, am I right? Which floor?
7.
Yep. Am I right? Yeah. Oh, am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Dorothy? 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 Nah, you're busy. Am I right? It's still better than the reception I got at Channel 9. Being tasered really hurts. But if you thought the Abbott government was the only one that doesn't understand the environment, you have clearly forgotten about the West Australian government, who this week announced plans to bait over 1,000 sharks. How? Controversial location-based dating app Finder and baited hooks. Earlier this week, we took sympathy on those swimming sets of razor teeth with eyes and looked at things from their perspective.
Bruce the shark thought he had it all. Happiness, freedom, seal meat. But above the ocean's surface, a deadly killer was lurking. Irrationally scared man. No understanding.
But I'll catch him and kill him.
No remorse.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
This summer, be very afraid. Because when you're minding your own business, their business is death.
Well, you son of a...
Coming this summer, Great White Man.
I hear some people say shark fins are aphrodisiacs, and I'm not saying that's what Colin Barnett wants to use them for. I'm just saying, some people say. But is there anyone who will stand up for these poor misunderstood creatures? Yes, our very own Alex Lee did.
Tom, imagine if I was a shark and I came into your territory and started killing you. If I just walked into your house, where you live.
Yeah, Alex, I've heard this analogy before.
That's your house, Tom. You should feel safe there.
I do feel safe, it's on the
Look,
land.
let's put the shoe on the other fin for the moment to expose the ignorance being displayed by man. Now, as a shark, my house...
You're not a shark, it's a... Oh.
Back to you. Tom.
Oh, jeez, poor Alex. She's never going to get a deposit back for that costume. Still, maybe we should look at this from the other side of the coin. Why are sharks eating humans in the first place?
Because some sharks are just criminals, Tom. You know I had to harpoon a criminal shark over there who hijacked our green screen like a jerk? Yeah, you stupid shark.
That was Alex.
Don't give it a name, Tom. It's not a person.
It was.
It's a criminal. But we can't blame all sharks for the actions of a few jerk sharks.
Okay, so Nick, as an amateur expert in shark criminology, what would you recommend?
Well, despite what you just saw, I don't believe in the death penalty. Unless those jerk sharks are guilty of a crime.
Okay, but how can we tell a guilty shark from an innocent one?
Oh, because all sharks look the same to you, don't they, Tom? I'll just let your interspecies racism hang there for a few seconds. But you do raise a good point, all sharks do look exactly the same. So if we can't identify which sharks are the 1 in a million criminal sharks, then we shouldn't be killing any of them. Because you know what that would make us, Tom?
Entitled humans think we should have free reign over the entire ocean.
Yep, dickheads. Am I right? Yeah, I'm right.
I wasn't even trying to get high fives that first time. I was just waiting for the right moment to strike, which is also the Labor Party's flawed political strategy to beat the coalition. Unfortunately, it's only useful if you have something to strike with. Otherwise, you're just a bunch of dudes in skirts in a field. It'll make sense in a moment.
Hold, comrades. Hold. Hold. What are we holding for? Your plan. I thought you had a plan.
What? My plan was to hold until we surprised them with your brilliant idea.
What? I don't have one. I was in charge of face paint. I thought you had a plan.
Hold! Someone do something!
Broken promises.
Hold! Shit!
So Labor doesn't have a plan to fix the country, but you know who does? The No Parking Meters Party. It's no parking meters. Also, Treasurer Joe Hockey, he said he doesn't want the budget to penalise people for being successful. Well, right on. I know the only thing that would tarnish being rich for me would be a percentage of that wealth going towards government services that benefit the less fortunate. And I'm not the only one that feels that way.
Budget's a lot of
Here's the mail, Dad.
Thanks, son. Bill. Overdue. God. Bill. What's this? Dear Mr. Grimsby, we're pleased to inform you that your son has been accepted into the New York City Ballet.
I did it, Dad. It's my dream. I'll have my name up in lights. I can live in a house with a door. I'll be able to afford the bus. What are you doing, Dad?
You just don't get it, do you, son? There's millions to be made in professional ballet. Just look at Mikhail Baryshnikov, Sylvie Guillaume, Nina Ananashvili, just to name but a few. God, if you make it big, you'll be taxed to hell and back.
But there'll be loads of money left over, Dad.
That's not what you make, it's what the taxman takes that pirouettes are shit all over my breakfast. No, no society's gonna penalise any son of mine.
But what do I do, Dad?
You'll do what's right, boy. Come on, haven't got all day. That's my boy. Being rich is a curse. There'll be no more aspirations from you, you little bastard.
It's a shame he broke his own foot because the World Cup started this morning. Spoiler alert, Australia dies in the end. Don't know what I'm talking about? It sounds like you need to check out The Roast's guide on pretending to know about soccer, or football, or whatever.
The Roast presents a guide to pretending you know about soccer, or football if you want to sound like a soccer snob. Oh, wrong ball. So you don't know anything about football. Well, that makes you Australian, because we are currently ranked 62nd in the world. And with only 32 nations in the World Cup, that means there are 30 better countries that didn't make it in. So suck it, more talented countries. Australia will face Spain, ranked number 1 in the world, Chile, ranked 14th, and the Netherlands, who are ranked all the way down at a pathetic 15. These represent a formidable collection of teams known as the Group of Death, which sounds scary in English, but in Portuguese it's Grupo de Morte, which sounds worse. But how do you tell these soccer footballers apart? Well, America's coming as a team of Pepsi cans, Netherlands is in orange, which we hear as the new black, Portugal has red stripes to make them go faster, while all these guys ran out of ink at the printers. Embarrassingly, Brazil and Australia turned up in the same outfit, so unless one of them changes, how will you spot Australia? Well, they'll be the ones trying to score a wicket, then scrambling to exchange jerseys with the more famous players at the end of the match, at which point you can turn to your friend and say, "What about that ref?" And he'll spend the next 10 minutes ranting about a bullshit decision that was totally bullshit apparently. So congratulations! You're now ready to watch us lose the World Cup.
Technically, we would not be losing the World Cup, we just wouldn't be winning it. Although I suppose that's just something losers say. Go Socceroos! Good night. Now where does a guy go to bury a cat round here?